Hello everyone,
Hello.
and we are here to preview the fifth game for all of you and to bore you a little more on the weekend.
Yeah.
I hope you all are doing well. And how are you doing, Nikhil bhai?
Yes, just very occupied, and you can see very committed to my job as well. This is the airport, away from my family, hiding from them so that I can do this preview. Yes.
That is real commitment indeed.
Yes.
So we'll just
Yep.
let a few people join in, and then we'll start with the preview for this game.
Yes. I think the one thing that we've been keeping saying is most of the calls have been working in terms of risky ones. But again, one day when all of them work will be the best possible day. But yeah, the thing is to keep trying. Keep trying those differential picks because when they work, they'll give you a handsome amount.
Until then, do also be patient to realize that it will come soon. You're on mute, huh?
Yeah, I was just saying, of course, you have to try and keep waiting because if it was very easy, everybody would have been doing it.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll start by discussing the team. And before we discuss the team, you should remember to join the leaderboard contest also. And I guess you can use the 10% bonus cash in this contest today. So make sure you make best benefit of that and use it with more teams. And apart from that, you also have the free entry contest. So remember to join both these contests for sure, apart from all your small leagues and whichever leagues you're playing. So first we'll look at the keepers, and Sam Billings and Tom Banton are your two choices with Bairstow not available.
Yeah.
And Banton is expected to open, so becomes pretty much straightforward because O will have a lot of other options. Do you feel you'll take Sam Billings here?
It's a very tricky one. I think Welsh had a very horrible game, firstly, to begin with.
Hmm.
So if I think the same thing will continue, maybe I'll not take Tom Banton and
Hmm.
Sam Billings. But then you have to be very sure of Sam Billings getting to bat. So again,
Yeah,
same
because too
concept
many
as
bowling
last time.
options.
Yeah, if you feel he will get to bat, pick him. Else you'll have to go with Tom Banton. Unfortunately, no option there.
Right, right. Okay, so we'll stick to Banton for now. Then in the batting, Jason Roy, even though his form is not great, but we don't have so many options from this section. And David Miller is expected to be available today. So if he's there, obviously you should pick him. Otherwise, you have options like Pope, Sam Hain, a lot of batting options from Welsh Fire, but none of them I think Duckett plays spin decently, but all of them will have problems against Sunil Narayan.
Yes, again, this could again be one of the games where you try more all rounders, maybe as
Hmm.
compared to batters. And batters, may you have to go with guys who you think will definitely do well. So
Yeah.
again, they discuss. Ben Duckett could play a very good role, handy role. Someone
Hmm.
like a Joe like an all could come good, but it's their day. They have
On the
because
day,
overall the
yeah.
bowling is very
Hmm.
strong. So that is
Right.
something that you have to remember. And yeah, take your call accordingly. I think I'll probably go safe only, as we
Hmm.
have gone so far. And maybe if you feel that too many batters from one angle, it's okay. Pack the team with all rounders. So just to balance it out.
Right. So I guess, like you mentioned, the oval bowling is very, very strong. And if we assume that oval is bowling first, you practically cannot leave any of these options because all of them have taken wickets in the first game. Karan didn't take wickets, but he bowled at the death, batted at an important position. So it doesn't seem like you can leave any of these options. Any of these options that you think you can leave in the first innings, or it would be only in the second?
Again, Reece Topley is somebody I find who takes more wickets while bowling second.
Hmm.
Again, we discussed this last time as well. So if you want, because if you're going to take the top order, you have to drop somebody who's going to bowl up top. So if
Yep.
Reece Topley is going to bowl up top,
Hmm.
might as well take a risk on him. But if you're not picking him, think he'll take wickets in the second innings. If
Hmm.
Oval bat first, this game becomes a very open game for everyone because
Yeah.
then there are multiple combinations that you can try out. So I think
Correct.
hopefully Oval bat first because then that will bring a lot more combinations and not very common ones.
Yeah, because this will be probably the most common combination, assuming that Welsh is batting first and Oval, most of their bowlers are bowling important overs. So I guess we have to stick to this. And Ryan Higgins, I guess, looked decent in the last game and is expected to play an important role along with Zampa with the ball. Any other guy who convinced you in terms of batting or bowling for the Welsh Fire who you think can make it in this team?
I think not many. David Payne is a good option
Hmm.
while bowling first. from
Hmm.
Welsh. So if he does get to bowl first, then he could be a very interesting pick for you. Uh,
Hmm.
Otherwise, I think most of the games so far they've gone to plan, but you know that one crazy game is going to come. I think Northern Superchargers was that game
Hmm.
where they were like a surprise win thanks to Morgan scoring. So
Yep.
if you feel something like that will happen, then I'm sure you
Hmm.
have plenty of good options to try out. As we normally discuss, most of England
Hmm.
games you will always have plenty of good options. It's about what you think is going to happen, and then you back that. That can be because the game is at Cardiff. The venue doesn't usually have high scores. It
Hmm.
is ranging between 140 to 160 kind of scores. So you could potentially pick more all rounders, or more bowlers if you want
Hmm.
to, and be very
And
sure of
one
which
key
which
point here
batter
is
you
that Welsh batting again, if you see the Welsh and Oval batting especially has a lot of right-handedness. And someone like Noor Ahmed can again come into the game. He didn't really find his line in the first game. But even if Zampa is bowling economically from one end, it'll allow Noor to attack and maybe get a few quick wickets from the other side.
Yeah, and also the score matters. So if say like we are saying,
Hmm.
if Ovala batting first, Noor Ahmed comes into the game even more because they will have to take him on. So
Yep.
that brings him into the game, and even if they are chasing and they put up a good score while batting first, then Noor Ahmed also comes in the game.
Right, and we are currently taking Narayan and two left-handers,
Yeah.
so maybe there's a candidate to drop one of these two left-handers and maybe slot in Noor Ahmed because then that will give
Yeah.
you one extra option with the ball. And we also saw he had a few
Yeah.
sixes down his alley in the first game, so yes, that
Always
can
does
also
that,
be
Narek.
very handy. Yeah.
Yeah. The bat swing never fails to surprise anyone.
So I guess that covers our base team. Who do you see as captain or vice captain? And I know that if Oval is bowling first, then Karan and Hasnain become default choices. But
Yeah.
assuming that Welsh is bowling first, who do you see as your best bets?
I still feel something like a Naren could potentially contribute with both bat and ball in both innings.
Hmm.
Again, because I'm expecting score to be mid 140s, 150s kind of. So
Hmm.
Naren becomes again very common option, but when common choices work and you don't make them, you are not even in the game.
When you're not in the
So
game.
so
Hmm.
one of your vice captain will have to be Naren or another all rounder, whoever you feel is you're very sure of, and
Hmm.
Zampa, Noor Ahmed, again, could make very handy vice captain options for you.
Hmm.
Batters, I never convinced, uh, I never
Not on
trusted
this
them enough
ground for
to.
sure.
Yeah, not exactly. So I think
Hmm.
all rounders and bowlers might be more into the game, but you're likely to go with common options only, like Naren, Tom Curran, Zampa, and even Ryan Higgins. If he bowls first, could be a very good option.
Right. Yeah, that would be a good differential choice to make.
Yeah,
So for now, maybe we can stick to Narayan and Zampa and then
yeah,
take a call on that post the toss.
yes,
So I'll just display the team one more time for those who joined in late. We are going with one keeper in Tom Banton. We might consider Billings if he's batting first. In the batting section, we have Duckett, Miller, and Roy. Again, we have a consideration that we might drop one of Miller or Duckett for Noor Ahmed, especially if Noor Ahmed is going to be bowling first. Then we have three all-rounders: Ryan Higgins, Sam Curran, and Sunil Narayan as our captain. Again, if he bowls second, he will surely be our captain. If he bowls first, then maybe not. And then we have four bowlers: Zampa, Tom Curran, Reece Topley, and Mohammad Hasnain. Here, if you want to make rotations, if Oval is bowling second, then it would be the right choice for you to make. If they're bowling first, Welsh has a slightly weaker batting lineup, so it might be slightly risky for you to do that.
yes. I think the moral of the story is back your visualization. Whenever one strong plays a slightly weaker team on paper, then this
Yep.
is something that always happens. So be very sure
Hmm.
of your investment as well. Make the most of the leaderboard contest. Great game to play that because try one team scenario that will possibly give you more returns as compared to just backing making a balanced team in most teams. So back one team, make multiple scenarios, and I think that should help you in the leaderboard as well.
Right, yeah. This is the sort of game where for small leagues everyone will bring their default team, but this is the game where one or two great leaderboard teams can really push up the ranks for you. So yeah, I'll just show you the leaderboard too, so that you guys know what we're talking about when we keep saying leaderboard. So, like you can see here, the top three prizes: there's a bike, there's a scooter, and there's a phone. Apart from that, there are a lot of smart gadgets and a few jerseys on offer. And the best part is that in these leaderboard contests, there's not too much of competition. It's 2,500, 3,000, and at best 4,000, 5,000 members. So that is much easier for you to win or acquire than to defeat straight 4, 5 lakh people. So I guess the competition is what can actually give you the edge.
And again, as we said, the option of playing with only two batters, more all rounders, especially on such venues with such teams, always gives you more option to be flexible with your combination. If you're not sure on
Right.
batters, it's okay. Play with more rounders. If you're not sure on
Hmm.
bowlers, play with more rounders. That option you don't have everywhere. So if you have it, why not make the best of it in the best possible tournament?
Right. Totally. Totally.
Yeah.
And yes, we are open to taking questions now. I'll just answer the ones that I already have. So, Cartwright, the default choice today. Again, Cartwright is like we mentioned is going to come up against Zampa and Noor, both of them, and Zampa would know him relatively well because they've played together at the Melbourne Stars. So maybe that would be a slight risk for you to take, especially because we see that there are so many options in all rounders and bowlers. So maybe you don't want to take that chance. But yeah, Cartwright was in decent form throughout the BBL. Default captaincy choices for head to head. So we already mentioned Narayan, both the Karan brothers, all of them are default choices. Zampa, Higgins are slight differential choices for you. And which team is stronger, Nikhil Bhai, and will 7-4 combination work or opener plus 5 work?
Yeah, I think opener plus five will be tried by many people today, even
Hmm.
in small leagues, because that's what I think most people will try, given how strong Oval are. So it'll probably be 7-4 for most if Oval are bowling first. And as I said, if they bat first, then the game opens up really because it brings the Welsh bowling into the picture. And then because their batting is not that strong, you have to be very sure of who you pick in terms of the all rounders or the guys who can contribute with the bat. So on paper, definitely I think Oval is much stronger. So most of them will go with 7-4 combination in favor of Oval. And yeah, I think opener plus five will be there in almost every guy's alternate team. So herein, your four people could make a difference. Who are your four people from Welsh? What are their
Yeah.
contributions? So something like that could make a massive difference because there will be very common teams today, especially if you will bowl first.
Hmm. Noor and Zampa as captain and vice captain respectively. This is a proper GL choice if you want to go with Noor as captain, because while he has the potential to strike against such opposition, he didn't find his line and length totally in the first game. So you can make that choice, but it's not something that we'll recommend for small leagues or even 100 members to that point.
Yes, yes.
Uh,
It's proper Jai Mata Di. If you get it right, you are going to top the leaderboard for a week. But if not, you should forget about your investment.
Pacers or spinners according to the pitch maestro will tell you that.
See, reading the pitch is as good as reading people, so you know how tough that can be. Uh, so, as we said, historically, it's not a venue where we've seen a lot of scores. So again, England है तो overhead conditions are always important there, and Cardiff में you do get usually good help for both kind of bowling. Now you will know that even from the way teams are structured. Like yesterday, you
Mm,
saw three spinners being played by Trent Rocket. So again, those are the things that we will know more at the time of the toss as well. That how our teams thinking, because it doesn't matter what we think the pitch is. What the teams are going to think, that's how they are going to select the 11. So that should give
yeah.
you a very good idea what they expect from the wicket. And like I last minute made a choice of making Root my captain, and it went okay because I felt he might bowl early, and he gave a good score. So that way I was saved. But yeah, so it's always a tricky call reading the pitch, but I think should get something for everyone at least.
Okay, I guess I lost a little bit of your audio in the middle. How to get up from that feeling when the team I joined in a contest is very good, but regret not joining too many. Uh, I think the best part is that if you join equal contests every game, then you'll never have to wake up from that feeling, because then it's okay. Because on some days when you lose an equal amount of money with those contests, you'll be okay about the fact that okay, I lost as much or more than I didn't lose more than I won. So I guess joining the equal or having some discipline with the contest you join helps you not feel like that. So yeah, we get where you're coming from, but try to keep it equal. That will help you out.
Yeah, I think the
Um,
best way to go about it is have a fixed number of contests that you join, no matter how
mm,
confident you are about the game, and then you change up and down as per each game and as per lineups. I think that could give you good flexibility. That okay, this is my minimum. It's there. I win or lose. This doesn't change. So I think that could help you understand more also that which are the type of contest do you want to pre-invest in, and then which you want to join
mm,
after the lineups.
totally. Which team has a higher winning chance today? We have gone 7-4 with Oval, so that should tell you what we feel about who has a higher winning chance today. So yeah, not too much to discuss on that. And if we want single captain 20 teams, who will be the captain and can we go with the top order? So this totally depends on what your approach is, right? If your approach is that you want to get something back and don't want to take high risk in terms of losing all the money that you put, then you should go with someone safe like Sam Curran or Sunil Narayan. But if you feel like you want everyone's money in one shot and if you want to take a big risk, then you can go with Zampa or Noor, like one of you guys mentioned. So it totally depends on your priority and what you're expecting out of the league that you're playing.
Yeah, truly, I think one thing that you can always do, we did talk about it yesterday as well, that break it up. Break those 20 into a set of 5 or a set of 10. And then in 10, 5 teams make Sam Curran captain, in 5 teams make Narain captain. And then in the next 5 make Zampa captain, and in the next 5 make somebody else, say a Cartwright or a Noor Ahmed or David Payne. So, firstly, as I said, back a visualization, keep that aside, and then start making variations. And then, if the same captain is coming, or if you feel one guy will give you the most points, back him in all teams. It will do two things. When you win, you will be in top ranks with each of those teams, which doesn't happen very often. So that will benefit you. But the same way is the other way. If you're not going to win, you're not going to win by anything out of those teams. So I think that's a risk that you can definitely take if you're confident on the game. That is.
Yes, and if you've also decided what you expect from the game in totality so that you're not disappointed if it goes the other way. Can we consider fantasy sports as a full-time profession?
So considering
Shiva,
you've
you
used
want
the
to take
right
this
word,
one?
considering is the right word, but you'll have to consider a lot of things before you start considering this as your full-time profession. We've talked about this before plenty times. You have to have at least 3 to 4 other sources of income so that you can balance out your bad days. Nobody's worried about the good days. The good days take care of themselves, and so will the average days. It's when you're in a losing streak, that's when you need the investment to invest, to deposit if you're running out of it. So where are you going to get it from? And your personal needs cannot come in the way of priority. The personal needs matter first. So I think that takes priority, and then you can go to the bit about, okay, I have enough money to invest, I have enough backup if I lose. Once you get to that stage, then you can probably uh, try it for some time as part-time option, and then see if you can make your way into a full-time thing.
Right, right. Someone's asked me for the ground dimension, so I have something from the 2019 World Cup which might be helpful. It's a slightly pixelated image, but it might give you what you need in terms of the ground dimension. So it's sort of 70 meters square and it's shorter straight. So that is what the ground dimensions look like. If you guys want, I can zoom it in a little bit more. So yeah, maybe you guys are not able to read it, but it's basically about 77, 75 odd meters square, and straight it's about a 60-meter boundary. So that is what the ground dimensions look like here.
Yeah, and those dimensions will tell you spinners could come into the game because longer square boundaries. Both Zampa and Noor also like to bowl a bit short at times because longer boundary, but pockets are very small. So again, these are
Yes.
very small things that matter, but they could tell you how teams could be looking at using the bowlers and from which ends.
Yes, someone's asking me the today's Trump players that you think will make a difference. So, like we mentioned, Noor Ahmed should be able to make a difference. David Miller, if he's back and playing, should be able to make a difference. And apart from that, I guess you should wait for your lineups to come out because, like Nikhil Bhai mentioned, at times there might be movement up front. But if that's not the case, and if Joe Clark is going to play only pace and not against spin, then maybe he's also someone who could have the advantage. So it depends on the conditions and once the lineups are out, but that is what our initial feel about the game is.
Yes, yes. I think we've also discussed David Payne in in
Hmm.
some capacity. Ryan Higgins could be a very good option for you. So yeah, plenty of good options.
Hmm. Great previews, and the game which was able to set the team very well. Thank you so much, Ashish, and we hope we can continue helping. And also, happy Friendship Day to all of you. It's because of all your support and that all you guys always show up here and hear all our bakwas that we have to say and are able to convert that into something amazing into your teams. I guess that is the biggest privilege for all of us, for both of us, that we're able to help you do that.
Because as Kapil Dev said, what else we here for?
So I guess we can close the discussion then if you guys are done with all your questions. And if there's anything else, you can feel free to DM us or let us know. We're always happy to take up your questions. And yes, many of you are mentioning we have the gold medal match for India today. And I hope that India take this home. And I'm telling you right now, please don't use my team for the India women's game because I'm surely going 7-4 with India. So please don't expect any logic there.
Yeah, I'm going. I'm likely to miss it due to the flight, but yeah, hopefully Haley Didi doesn't have the mandatory
Final
finals
knock.
knocking show. Yeah, hopefully
Yes,
that
so
is kept aside.
all the best to India and all the best to all
Yeah,
of you too. I guess you all should enjoy that
yeah,
game and should
yeah.
support the women. So all the
Yes.
best to everyone. And yes, let's hope it's a good game. And you
Yeah.
can let us know if you guys have any final questions on Twitter. We'll happily take them up and let Nikhil Bhai go and board his flight before we are sued for damages here.
No, no problem. Thank you so much for having us. And yes, thank you all of you for tuning in. Hopefully, we're able to make a difference. Always happy to hear positive feedback. So, if any, please let us know and do share this with others. If you are finding this useful, we are sure many others will also find it useful. So, please do that. Share it with your friends, not family. And I don't know how many of them are going to play fantasy, but yeah, you get the gist. So, thank you.
Yes, totally. Thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a good day.
Bye bye.